Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York. My name is Steve Converse. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm your worship associate for this morning's service, alongside our minister, the Reverend Christin Green. Our children and youth will be invited to participate in our new member ceremony, as well as our annual fabric garland creation during the service today, before being dismissed downstairs for religious education classes. For families with very young children who would like childcare during worship, our nursery is staffed and available downstairs. Please make sure to note important announcements listed on the back of your order of service. Scan the QR codes, if you know how that works, with your phone for more events, activities, updates, and information for newcomers. Before we enter into our time of worship, Reverend Christin has a special announcement she would like to share with you concerning Mary and Bob Barnes.
Good morning, friends. What a week it has been. I just wanted to say that some of you may have seen the email we sent on Thursday to the congregation reporting that Mary and Bob Barnes were involved in a serious car accident on Wednesday, December 3rd, while driving home from choir rehearsal. It was on Springwood Road, north of Chapel Church Road, so really not far. They were taken to York Hospital and remain there in intensive care unit where they're being treated for injuries. While visitation is limited in the ICU, I was honored that the family has allowed me to visit Mary and Bob daily since the accident. And while they were initially sedated, as of this morning, both are now awake and breathing on their own. More surgeries and procedures are coming this week to repair mostly fractures. Some of you may remember that Bob fell and broke his hip this time last year. The anniversary of that fall is actually tomorrow. And I know we all feel the heaviness of that lost progress and the new journey of healing and recovery. And our sweet Mary was really looking forward to being here this holiday season for the pageant and the music and the celebrations and the decorations. I have reassured them both that we are hanging the garlands, that we are singing so loud they'll probably be able to hear us over in their hospital rooms. I alerted the nurses as well. If you hear something coming from down the street, it's us. I've told them that the RE team has pulled together and made things happen. The ushers are tending to one another. The choir is tending to one another. And all of us who have that connection, no matter how small or large, are holding them in our hearts. They have given me the green light to tell you you can go visit now. There's 2 visitors per room in the ICU, so it is still limited. But in the coming days, I'm wondering if we can organize some sort of sign-up or rotation to keep a steady stream of positive energy and well wishes and reassurance and comfort and love going in and out of those rooms, in and out of that wing of the ICU. There are 41 nurses that are rotating in that wing, and I really want to show them our appreciation as well for the care that they're providing for Mary and Bob. So anyone who has ideas about what we could do for them that would really express that, I'm open to that. I'm here for you, for all that is coming up in your hearts and spirits right now. Please reach out. Reach out to someone you trust. Reach out to me. We are in this together. Blessed be.
Thank you, Reverend Christin. We are holding Mary and Bob and their family in our hearts. Whoever you are, whomever you love, we are glad your faith journey brought you here today. The mission of this congregation is to nurture a loving community, inspire lifelong spiritual and personal growth, and to act for a better world. We welcome all of you joining us in person or online. If you are joining us for the first time, we invite you to visit our welcome desk in the lobby to fill out a newcomer card or send an email to welcome@uucy.org so that we might get to know you. Today, also check out the bake sale in the lobby after the service. Let us now mark this time made sacred by our presence by taking a collective breath. Again, welcome to UUCY. As Will Finnegan comes forward to light our chalice this morning in the sanctuary, a symbol of our living tradition, Those joining us remotely are also invited to light a chalice of their own. This morning, we will also light Advent candles representing hope and peace. To help us enter into this time of worship, I offer words entitled, "We Have Come Into This Room of Hope" by Libby D. Stoddard. We have come into this room of hope, where our hearts and minds are open to the future. We have come into this room of justice, where we set aside our fear to name freely every oppression. We have set aside our fear to we have come into this room of love, where we know that no lives are insignificant. We have come into this room of song, where we unite our voices in the somber and beautiful melodies of life. Please rise in body or in spirit in the singing of our opening hymn together.
Number 226, People Look East.
Reverend Christin Green. I use she and her pronouns. I'm the minister here at UUCY, joined by...
I am Robbie Kuznirik. My pronouns are she, her. And I am the chair of the membership committee. Today is an exciting day of celebration as we dedicate time in our worship service to recognize new members of UUCY. We shared a celebratory breakfast this morning where they officially signed our membership book.
And now, in this time of worship, a time of lifting up of things of worth, the whole congregation joins in celebrating this commitment. I'd like to invite our new members of UUCY to come forward for a brief ceremony. And as they come forward, I will read their names. We have Autumn Lau and Tori Azaro, Jennifer Robinson, Katie Lockridge, Liz Bull, Tess Schneider, Zen Copeland, and Nova Copeland. And we mustn't forget Buster.
Rainbow's not.
So,
you've come to worship, play, work, learn, and grow among us. Ours is a free congregation. We have no creeds, and you are free to bring your ideas and beliefs to this congregation to share with others. We invite anyone and everyone to join us in the religious search for truth, meaning, and purpose in life, informed by our individual beliefs and by the living tradition of Unitarian Universalism.
Joining UUCY means that you are claiming us and that we are claiming you in all our imperfections. It means that you accept the covenantal promises that come along with being in community, honoring our values, our diversity, and community's common strengths, to be responsible for our actions and our words, to speak and listen with our hearts and minds open, to give of ourselves and receive that which is given, to keep and honor personal boundaries, to respect privacy and confidentiality, to unite on the side of love for our earth, our community, and ourselves. The mission of UUCY is to nurture a loving community, to inspire lifelong spiritual and personal growth, and to act for a better world. The vision is that we be a thriving congregation of all ages and species, embracing each other, partnering with those in our community who work for justice, fairness, and equity. New members, if this covenant resonates with you, this mission and this vision, and you feel ready to join in this work, please say, I will.
We welcome these new members into our community. We are so glad to have you here with us and that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on your life journeys.
New members, also take a moment to consider how the following questions land on your heart. Will you accept our gifts of fellowship and curiosity and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalists who spread hope through our living faith? Will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? If you feel ready to journey together with us in love, please say, I will. Congregation, we also have some questions for you. Will you help these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts that they bring to us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? Congregation, if you feel ready to journey together to love, in love alongside these new members, please say, we will.
We will. Congregation, let us speak aloud together the words of welcome and affirmation printed in our order of service. We welcome you as members of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York. We celebrate your decision to journey with us and promise you our mutual trust and support.
I'd like to invite the children and youth that feel comfortable coming forward and assisting this morning before we send our new members to find their seats back among us. Thank you. Any who are willing. Today, in a spirit of welcome, we're going to offer you gifts of fellowship and curiosity and service. And in a spirit of care, we will offer you hope when hope is hard to find. In a spirit of joy, we offer you songs of love. And in a spirit of love and celebration, our children are going to present you with a rose in the wintertime. When you receive your rose, you're welcome to take your seat as a newly welcomed member of UUCY.
Do you want to give a flower to one of them? Let's go.
I'm going to ask these young ones to stay with me to help with their next ritual activity.
Oops. You can.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. You can stay up there.
If you're in the sanctuary with us today, you should have also received a strip of fabric and written your name on it. If you don't have one yet, please raise your hand. I'm one of those people. Oh my goodness. We forgot to tell the ushers, so we're gonna do a little. Ushers are headed with these strips, and we've got some helpful hands assisting. Let me tell you what we're doing. So we already asked our new members earlier if they felt ready to add their names to a long line of Unitarian Universalists at this congregation. And I understand that for the last several years, UUCY has made it a practice to create a fabric garland with each of your names written on them. And this garland is made new each year and continues to grow longer and more beautiful with each new link that's added. Can Juniper and Will, could you help me stretch this out? And where's our other young person? Could you just kind of like pull this out of the basket and like lay it all out? There's lots to pull. Does anyone know, is Mary Barnes the one that started this tradition? I thought so. Oh. Yeah, just lay it all out on the floor, maybe in like a zigzag, or can you spread out? Great, so let's spread out. So it sounds like Mary Barnes is the one that started this tradition of writing our names on strips of fabric and fixing them to each other with what we call sacred staplers, right? And she's been talking to me about this for weeks, so I know that it's probably one of those things that shouldn't be on her mind today, but is. And I just want to say that we don't have to be perfectly happy in this moment that we're doing this, but the fact that we're doing it is going to make Mary very proud. That we're turning towards celebration and life. Thank you all so much. Could I also get a couple? Could I get 3, actually? And we need some for the folks. Okay. That's okay. We're sharing. So I want to make a link. Thank you. I want to make a link for Mary and Bob because they are here with us today. Can you do that? Thank you so much. So as you complete your names on your strips of fabric, our next step is to pass out the sacred staplers so that we can symbolize becoming connected to each other. And our ushers and children will hopefully help us bring those new rows of garland forward and add them to our existing chain.
I'm going to come around and grab any markers.
that might have been accepted. It sounded a little bit like two microphones get too close to each other.
This act of making small circles and connecting them to another small circle for an even larger line that we will spiral up around this evergreen tree. This is a way of widening our circle, of drawing our circle wider, to be expansive, to go all the way, not over just to the hospital, but out into other counties where we know others are suffering, out into other states and other countries, all over this globe. We turn toward life and celebration, not out of foolish optimism, but out of the knowledge that we are connected and we remain connected. We may continue this process after worship, perhaps, because we are decorating our sanctuary today, so I wonder if we might just pause on the sacred connection so we can sing together. The lyrics I printed in your order of service use the word stand, no one stands alone, and that may not always resonate with us, depending on our abilities, depending on our current conditions. So I invite you to alternatively say, no one is alone. We are side by side. If that feels more resonant. Children who would like to go down to religious education classes this morning are invited to do so at this time. Friends, we dedicate time in our service each week to what we call matters of the heart, gathering our spirits, centering our hearts and minds and bodies in a moment of loving kindness together. It's a time to share the small joys or sorrows, small or large, the moments of happiness and deepening concerns that reside within our hearts. You may choose to submit something anytime during the week online, or you can place something up here on the pulpit. I'll also check in on our folks online to see what they are holding. Our candles of appreciation are lit for the many hands and hearts who give their gifts of service. As we learn their names and faces, may we extend our own gratitude to Connie for greeting us at the door, and Carol for providing these poinsettias, Suzanne and Marta for setting up the new member breakfast this morning, for Steve and John for serving as ushers, Joan and Patty for counting our collection, Don for serving as the faithful steward of our script card program that supports us, Carla and Deb in the kitchen brewing our coffee, Joel and Robert keeping us online all over the world with the help of Zen, our new member, Chris for faithfully coordinating so many volunteers each week. May all those labors that remain unnamed feel held by our expansive gratitude and forgive us for our omissions. May we increase our awareness of all the invisible ways we share in this sacred work. We light one final candle this morning for all that remains unspoken within our hearts. It may feel too massive or too minuscule to share. You may not be ready to hear it read aloud. But please know that our community holds these things with you in silence, even if the words never come. We honor all that we carry within us and know that the flame of our faith kindled here resides within us also at all times. So may it ever be. Our hearts are heavy in this time that feels bleak with waiting. And before we sing together, I want to invite you into the peace of wild things, as the poet Wendell Berry writes. He says, "When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free." We seek here in this time of worship not to remove your grief and replace it with blind faith or foolish optimism, but to rest for one single hour a week in the grace of the world. To be reminded of the peace of wild things, of the way the rose opens to the light when it's ready, the way the fog burns off as the sun rises and warms the air, the way the fern slowly releases itself from its tightly coiled position into a beautifully wide stretch of leaves. In witness of this great mystery around us, hearts aching, longing, yearning for a glimmer of hope and peace, may we join together in singing number 396, "I know this rose will open." Thank you, choir. Today, as we kindled the flame of the peace candle on the Advent wreath, I considered the artificial evergreens wrapped around that candle holder. I thought about what a shame it is that by the end of 2025, we still haven't figured out how to make plantable wreaths that don't just fade away. The everlasting quality of evergreens, trees, and plants among the wild things is part of the beautiful symbolism. So we opt for artificial versions that evoke that visual reminder of vibrant pine needles and well-nourished greenery. Dana and I chopped down our first live Christmas tree last year and got to experience the joys of tree sap, a very close cousin to glitter, it turns out, and the adventure of taking a very crisp tree down in, February? We had a hard time letting go of this beauty that we had come to know and love. And this year, we've thought about a potted evergreen that could live on our balcony year-round, but of course, we'd have to remember to water it. We've also looked at the various kinds of artificial trees that might bring us that same sense of wonder and warmth, but we haven't quite found the right one yet. The thing about wreaths not being planted is that it feels like you only have two options. One that's slowly drying up and dying, or one that's never known life before at all. Anytime there are only two choices, I get curious. Is there something in between those two or on the other side? Is there a middle way or a third or more options? Is there potential for something else that I could never have thought of? The reason I titled this homily Pining for Hope is not as much about the evergreen pun on a day when we plan to deck our halls with boughs of emerald green and red berried holly. The phrase to pine for something actually has nothing to do with evergreens and everything to do with hope. It means to yearn or long intensely for something or someone that is absent or lost, unattainable, often with a deep sense of sadness, melancholy, or even physical decline, like pining away, due to that longing. The verb to pine comes from the Old English word pinyan, which means to torment or to cause someone to suffer. To pine away, then, would mean that we're wasting away, listless from sorrow, tormented by the perceived absence of possibility. And my goodness, if that isn't resonant. Many of us are feeling the heaviness or even emptiness in our chests. We may worry that we are losing or have lost hope. Sugary, sweet TV commercials and festive signage may leave us feeling even more distant from hope than ever before. We long for that return to the light that we know hope provides. And it's in that visceral memory of a hope we once had that we cry out in pain again. It's not ungrateful to feel despair. It is no small thing to acknowledge the presence of pain and suffering and offer it a balm of memory only to feel pain more deeply. Despair is an important part of longing and also an important part of hope. Canadian public philosopher and writer Amy Leask talks about the difference between hope and optimism. She says, hope doesn't require us to cling to the belief that everything will be okay. We do a disservice to hope when we squash it into fluffy, pink, candy-coated, wishful thinking. We aren't simply meant to force joy and festivities upon ourselves to create false senses of comfort. We are choosing to hang garlands instead of ashes. We have plenty of both, but we gravitate toward life. And that gravitational pull is the essence of hope itself. Leask continues by exploring this idea of hope as a noun, like a thing that you have or find. And she reflects that it's weird and makes her afraid of never finding it, of no one giving her any, and the possibility of losing it. Hope feels a little more attainable and sustainable as a verb, she says, like an activity. She offers some helpful framing. I do not have hope, I do hope. I do not find or keep hope, I just hope. I hope like I brush my teeth, do laundries, or answer emails. It's something I do, but more importantly, something I choose to do. Hope as a verb has intention, potential, possibility, and direction. It has momentum and drive, enough to move me away from silence and despair. Some of you might be followers of the late Joanna Macy's writing on active hope. She wrote about hope as a practice, something we actively choose to do, not something we simply have or don't. And she says, again, active hope does not require optimism. We can apply it even in areas where we feel hopeless. The guiding impetus is intention. We choose what we aim to bring about, act for, or express, rather than weighing our chances and proceeding only when we feel hopeful. We focus on our intention and let that be our guide. Active hope is not easy. It is hard work, it is messy and exhausting. And it doesn't provide any guarantee that you will end up where you want or the outcome will be as we desire. Active hope requires doing it again, second chances, timeouts, recharging. But the good news, I think, is that there are infinite ways of practicing hope, not just one or two. Amy Leask lists a few of her own, and I wonder if they'll spark any for you. If you're reaching out to your community, even in small ways, you hope. If you're reading to your child and talking to them like they're an intelligent being, you hope. If you're growing your own vegetables or sewing your own clothes, you hope. If you're supporting local artists or businesses, you hope. If you are a researcher or workshopping a problem with a team, you hope. If you teach or you heal, you hope. If you're posting information or encouragement online, you hope. If you got out of bed this morning, you hope. Even when we hold people in our hearts and we light candles, any of those intentions, any of those energies are connected to hope. Just like the display of and adorning of an artificial tree of cedar, juniper, spruce, or pine, we can choose symbols of hope that know life through our living. Each year at UUCY, faithful volunteers open the creaking door to the attic, pull out the boxes and bins, and unpack the evergreen signs of life. We hang them together here, not just because many hands make for light work, but because the act of gathering and celebrating life in the ritual act of hanging garlands is itself an act of hope. Ultimately, we don't know what will happen next, or after that, or after that. We only know the here and now with each other. We have this space and time and connection so we can grieve and laugh and sing and yearn together for a hope that springs eternal in the rich darkness of our uncertainty. Our longing is sacred. May that be the thing that guides us to lift our weary heads, to witness our own green volunteer of hope reaching for the light. Blessed be. May it be so. And amen. Our hymn of response can be found in your teal hymnal as 1068, Rising Green. The composer Carolyn McDade writes of her inspiration. She says, "Earth shakes out a mantle of green, each blade of grass true to the integrity within, yet together with others is the rising of spring from winter's urging. Our coming is with the grass, the common which persists, unexalted, but with the essence of life. Our humanness, our rhythms and dreams, the faith which nurtures our ardent love and hope for life. All this we share with earth community, of which we are natural and connected beings. Let us rise and sing together knowing we are connected."
Oh
We now invite you into a spirit of generosity as we collect our weekly offering. Each month, we commit to share our offering collection with a community organization that upholds our values. Our Share the Plate partner for December is the York County Food Bank, whose mission is to increase dignified access to nutritious food and community resources that enhance food security in York County. For more than 30 years, the food bank has stood by its unwavering belief that food is a basic human right. They distribute millions of healthy meals each year and are on the forefront of new approaches to ending hunger and poverty. The food bank's vision is to have a healthy, hunger-free York County. This video from the food bank's website will tell us more.
There's a significant problem of food insecurity in York County, and that is really kind of the impetus of what got us going and what we're about. Trying to provide food for those that are food insecure, that don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Here in York County, 1 in 9 adults are going hungry, and unfortunately 1 in 6 children are going hungry, or what we call food insecure. And together, last year, we distributed over 6.5 million pounds of food, which equates to 5.4 million meals.
I enjoy the food. It really saves on the food bill, and it has really helped out a lot.
We serve anybody that is in need of food, regardless of what your income level may be. If you are in need of food, you can receive food from us.
I didn't really get a lot of money since I wasn't working, and this has been a great help. York County Food Bank is out there helping anybody who's in need, no matter what the situation may be.
I've stayed at the food bank because it gives me a great deal of pleasure to help other people. I've been affected personally by hunger with my family, so it's nice to be able to give back.
I think everyone here is like a family. No matter what our differences are, they're like, we put them aside and we're here to serve our community. We're here as neighbors.
I was amazed to really learn how many people in our county need assistance, and they come to bring that assistance to anyone in need.
We rely heavily on the support of our community, and that includes donations, but most importantly, it includes volunteer time. Every day we are packing, sorting food, distributing food. It's a lot of work, but it's also heartwarming at the same time to really be able to help people and make sure that we're giving them what they need to have a better life. For more information on York County Food Bank or to make a donation, please visit yorkfoodbank.org.
Collect the offering. If this is your first time visiting with us, please feel free to let the basket pass you by. Your presence is a gift.
Things I almost remember.
Please join us in extinguishing our chalice and your home chalices if you have lit them with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
A lot of good folks have prepared crafts and activities and baked goods, and we've got our Garland still active with some staplers in the back. We do hope that you'll stay for a cup of coffee, to browse around, to help us get some of these decorations put together, even make your own ornaments. We've got all the supplies. Please stay if you would like. I want to leave you with the words of Cricket Hall, who reminds us, in this time of waiting, may we hold the world in our hearts. In this time of waiting, may we hold each other's hands. In this time of waiting, may we be thoughtful and introspective. In this time of waiting, may we delight in the darkness and all that it teaches us. In this time of waiting, may we rekindle the fires of hope, love, joy, and peace within ourselves and our communities. In this time of waiting, may we become ready for the coming day. Blessed be. May it be so. And amen. Let us sing our festive hymn and rise if you feel so called. I think this one's for Mary. Definitely.